Welcome back to another episode of the Scran Line. I'm Nick, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make my cut the check freak shake cupcakes. Now, the idea behind this cupcake was I wanted to make an all gold freak shake cupcake. So imagine there's like a Scran Line awards ceremony. This is the actual award that I would be giving to people. So I called it Cut the Check because I asked you guys to name it on Instagram, and this is the name I chose. Before we get stuck into today's video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell icon next to it, because if you don't hit that, YouTube doesn't tell you there's a new video and they don't even show it in your subscription feed, which is really weird because, anyway, let's not get into that. Let's begin with our cupcakes. So we're actually going to be doing something a little bit weird today. Rather than making my chocolate cupcake recipe, which is amazing by the way, we're actually going to be making my vanilla cupcake recipe and flavoring it chocolate with cocoa powder. Now, the reason I did this is because we're going to be making cake donuts, and my chocolate cake recipe, for some reason when I was testing this recipe, would not come out of the cake donut tin. It just didn't work. So we're going to be using my vanilla cupcake recipe. It's just as delicious. We're going to begin by adding some flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, and some cocoa powder into a large mixing bowl. We're going to mix that until it's well combined. Next, we're going to add some softened butter, and we're going to mix that until we reach a crumbly sand-like texture. We're going to add our eggs, milk, oil, yogurt, vanilla extract, and we're going to mix that until it's well combined. You want to make sure you scrape down the bowl and mix for a final 20 seconds. I'm going to line my cupcake tin with some gold foil cupcake liners. And we're going to fill these up about 3/4 of the way. We're going to bake these for about 40 minutes and then let them cool down completely. To prepare your cake donut tin, you're going to spray it with some oil and then wipe it down gently with some paper towels. We're going to fill these up halfway with our batter, and we're going to bake them for 20 minutes. Once the cake donuts have baked, you want to let them cool down for about 5 minutes, and then you're going to tap them gently on your bench and they'll just fall out. Next, we're going to move on to making our chocolate ganache frosting. This is super easy to make. It's basically just chocolate and cream. Add it to a large microwave safe bowl, and we're going to microwave that for about 30 seconds at a time until everything is melted. So we're going to mix it each time. Once it's nice and smooth, you're going to set it aside at room temperature to set. Don't be tempted to pop it in the fridge, because when it actually does set, you're going to whip it up, and if it has been in the fridge and you try whipping it up, it splits. So make sure that it sets at room temperature. It will take about an hour to set, and then you can whip it up. Our cake donuts have baked, our cupcakes have baked. We've got everything together to make this cupcake. We're going to be making a gold paint. So I'm using some rose spirit and some gold luster dust, and we're going to mix that until it's really well combined. I'm using a food safe brush to paint each of my donuts. Once you've got all of those painted, set them aside for about 20 minutes to kind of dry out a little bit. We're going to core the center of each cupcake and fill it up with some chocolate sauce. If you want to grab the recipe for that, it's on my website. Next, we are going to dust the top of our cupcakes with some gold luster dust. You want to fit the end of a piping bag with a Wilton 6B piping tip. We're going to frost a double donut swirl of our chocolate ganache frosting on top. Drizzle some chocolate sauce on top of that. We're going to add our gold donut on top of that frosting, and we are going to drizzle the donut with some chocolate sauce as well. You want to pop this in the fridge and let it chill for about an hour and a half. You want to make sure that these are really chilled, because we're going to be actually dusting the entire cupcake with gold luster dust, And if you try dusting chocolate sauce when it's not chilled, it's gonna be a disaster. And guys, that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I had so much fun making, and guys, it tastes so delicious. The gold luster dust doesn't add flavor to the cupcake, but it looks phenomenal. So I actually use the Fancy Sprinkles gold luster dust because I found lately a lot of luster dusts just aren't that great. I don't know what's going on in the luster dust world, but Fancy Sprinkles one is great.